Assalamu alaikum student, how are you all? So dear student, in our last lecture I told you about the different dynasty, Jalaluddin dynasty and Khalji. So today we will learn the next dynasty, Sultan Mubarak Khalji. Sultan Alauddin wanted to appoint his son Khizr Khan as crown prince, but Malik Kafur created many problems of him and did not allow to fulfill his desire. Because Sultan wanted his son to become crown prince, Kafur created many problems. So, what he does? Sultan made a stamp paper under which Khizr Khan was deposed as crown prince. And instead, his 6-year-old brother Shah Bahauddin was appointed as successor. So, student, Shah Bahauddin was the third sultan of the Khalji dynasty of Delhi Sultanate in India. In attack, Shah Bahauddin, father Alauddin, was dead. So, the Malik Kafur was supported him. So that's why Malik Kafur wanted him to become a crown prince of the Delhi Sultanate. After Malik Kafur crowned it, Shah Bahauddin, king of this state, after the death of Sultan, Malik Kafur forced all people to pledge allegiance to the new king. Malik Kafur himself took control of all affairs of the state. Basically, Malik Kafur wanted to become a king after killing the family of Sultan Alauddin. But the only major problem was this: Prince Mubarak who was 17, so that's why he had detained him. One day, he ordered two soldiers to kill Mubarak, but they took pity on him and instead killed Malik Kafur instead of Prince Mubarak. After Later, he became a king after consultation with colleagues and he called himself Sultan Qutbuddin Mubarak Shah Khalji. After that, Sultan Qutbuddin what is the measures? First, he released 80,000 prisoners after taking over the control of the country. He allowed politically exiles to return. He checked the mismanagement caused in 3 months after the death of Alauddin, and he ended a rebellion in Gujarat. So, dear student, our next dynasty is Tughlaq dynasty. The Tughlaq dynasty, the decline of Khalji dynasty, resulted in the sight of Tughlaqs. Ghazi Malik was the first Tughlaq who ascended the throne as Ghayazuddin Tughlaq in 1320. He ruled from 1320 to 1325, but this short period saw great success in this region, Bengal, that had been an independent state since the death of Balban, was again brought into the Sultanate. And who is Muhammad Tughlaq? After the death of his father Ghayazuddin Tughlaq in 1325, Muhammad Tughlaq came into power. His period saw both the climax and initial decline of Tughlaq dynasty. On his first decade, Muhammad Tughlaq expanded the boundaries of his sultanate and maintained his central authority, but after 1935, a gradual decline was observed. After the dynasty of Muhammad Tughlaq, the next dynasty was Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Muhammad Tughlaq's successor was his cousin, Firoz Shah. He had a conciliatory attitude and his region saw peace and prosperity. He was a good administrator and a planner. He built many schools, colleges, and mosques. Abolition of taxation system is his marvelous achievement. After Firoz Khan, the next sultanate was Tamur invasion. Tamur invasion invaded India in 1398. This invasion proved a final blow to the effective power of Tughlaq dynasty. Gujarat, Malwa, and Janupur soon became powerful states. Rajput states rapidly emerged because of Tamur conquest. At first, he captured Lahore, Dipalpur, Multan, and parts of Sindh for Tamur and then declared himself the ruler of these areas. However, in the 15th and 16th century, there was no powerful central government and independent principalities were on their move. After the dynasty of Tamur invasion, the next and the last is Behlul Lodi. Behlul Lodi, victory against Sayyid, was revival of the Afghan rule in India. Lodi dynasty, in the comparison to Sayyid, was stronger. He was stronger than Sayyid. Before Behlul Lodi moved to Delhi, he had established a kingdom in the Punjab that was larger than the territories. Behlul and his two successors, Sikandar and Ibrahim, continued to hold Delhi and expand their sultanate. During the rule of Lodi, immigration of Afghans into India was observed, and this migration caused many problems to Mughal rule in India. After the decline of Lodis and emergence of Mughal, what are the decline and downfall of the Sultanate? There are many factors that led to the decline and downfall. What causes for the decline Delhi Sultanate? Number one, there was no definite law of succession. Number two, after the death of each sultan, the situation gave rise to many civil wars, and the nobles became the kingmakers and controlled the weak sultans. Jagir system gave rise to disintegration that weakened the kingdom, and the invasion of Timur and Babur was the main cause for the downfall of the Delhi Sultanate. The local chief, warlords, and nobles were engaged in an effort to be more and more powerful, and even they welcomed for invaders. So, the student, I explained you, hold the chapter. See you in the next class. Jazakallah.